Let's go back to our app now. I want to focus on understanding what's going on behind the scenes when a click happens in Android. If we click on the numbers category in the app, how does the open numbers list method magically get executed? Well, we saw here in the activity_main.xml file that we were able to define button click behavior by adding an Android onClick attribute to a view in the XML layout. So this is actually a pretty convenient shortcut in XML that Android provides. However, we want to teach you how professional developers typically hook up button code logic to their app. Now, by the end of this lesson, we're going to accomplish this same button click behavior in the Miwok app, but this time with only Java code and no XML changes. When a user is interacting with their Android device, they interact with the apps by touching the screen. And these correspond to user input events in Android. For example, there's a click event when a view is pressed. Other types of events include long click, drag events, key events. This is when a key on the keyboard is pressed, and there are many others. Say the user clicked the button on the screen. The screen hardware will detect the touch and notify Android that a click has occurred. Android will then identify the view at the location that they touch the screen. Now, what's really cool is that you can choose to get notified when certain events happen on a specific view. In the code, you can say, I want to know when this particular event happens. So developers often refer to this paradigm as listening for a certain event. In a way, you can think of your app as having an ear to listen for certain signals that you care about, the signals being certain user events. Once you know the event has happened, you can program exactly what should happen when a user interacts with a specific part of your UI. So how do you get this set up in your app? Well, you can create an event listener object for this view, and you specify what should happen when the event occurs. So in this diagram, we're interested in click events. So we create an onClick listener and fill out instructions that should happen when the onClick method is called. These instructions can be anything you want. You can open a new screen when the user clicks on this view, change the appearance of this view, change the background color of the whole screen, or anything else. So once you've created the onClick listener, the last step is to attach it to the view that we want to listen for clicks on. This way, when the click event occurs, if the view has a click listener associated with it, Android will execute the code that you've specified over here. This process happens all very quickly, and you don't need to remember all the details of each step. Your key role as a developer is to set up the event listeners for the input events you care about in your application, and Android will take care of running the code as you've specified. This is a list of some event listeners in Android. Each event listener offers a single callback method that you can provide code for. It's named callback method because you'll be called back when the event happens. Now let's focus here. This part of the article mentions that if you're interested in the click event, you must create an onClick listener. So let's navigate there. And that contains the onClick method, where you fill out the instructions for the onClick method. Then Android will take care of calling this method whenever the user clicks on the view. As a side note, we refer to a tap on the screen as a click because of historical reasons. Desktop computers use a mouse to navigate around the screen, and when you press the mouse button to select something on the screen, the mouse went click. And here's an image of the very first mouse.